asexualise.com and author of Asexual Perspectives out on Amazon. Welcome to day 30 of Asexual Perspectives Awareness Month, celebrating our diversity across the spectrum and our individuality within it. So, I asked 46 asexuals around the globe in my book this question. Can you tell me about a time when you have had to deal with intrusive questions or difficult situation due to your asexuality and what happened? This is Sappho's story. Being as I'm not really openly out, I haven't had too many experiences like this, but I know a lot of people who have been accused of having been abused as children. It's an awful thing to suggest to someone who's asexual, and it really demonstrates how pervasive sex is in society. If the only way that someone will believe that you don't experience sexual attraction is if you have had a horrible, traumatic experience in your life. Juanita's story. Once some girl in an open relationship wanted to kiss me, and I said I don't believe in kissing unless you're in love. And she looked at me with shock and said, well, that's a waste of your youth. Really? Because this is new to me. I haven't really had the questions, but I'm sure they will come if I attempt the dating scene. Dee's story. Well, usually when people ask me questions, I'm quite enthusiastic because I like educating people and I don't have much of a sense of privacy. I don't like it when people ask if I've been sexually traumatised in response to hearing I'm asexual. I have been sexually assaulted and I'm quite comfortable talking about it, but I worry that it will be perceived as invalidating my asexuality. David's story. This is not something that has happened. People tend to be heteronormative, so more often than not the question is, are you seeing anybody? To which I can honestly answer no, and the conversation moves on. Jen Mullen's story. I've had friends get really confused because they really like sex. They weren't rude about it, just super confused, and it was hard to explain. I've had people complain about me saying that the A in LGBTQIA isn't for allies. It's caused a couple of arguments, but I still stand by it. Stephen Smith's story. Yes, it was my first day on the job and a lesbian asked me, are you straight or are you gay? I said neither, I'm asexual. She answered, but you're not given a chance. I felt I was shut out of everything the rest of the time I was at that job. C.A. Altman's story. I'm lucky in that I've never been grilled on asexuality, though I have been put in a few sexual situations I was uncomfortable with before I knew I was asexual. The one time I had sex was one of those. Although not entirely unpleasant, it was an emotionally uncomfortable experience for me. Isadora's story. I haven't really had any problems like this. I tend to avoid discussing sexual relations unless I can do it in a distant way, so I haven't had it come up in casual conversation. Callie's story. I've only had to deal with such a situation once. I was at an LGBT conference in Toronto, and the last night there was a nice dinner. Everyone was sharing coming out stories and the like, and then they asked me and I told them I was ace. I had to explain asexuality, which was fine, but one of the guys started getting really intrusive. He was asking me all these questions about whether I have ever had sex. How could I know I was ace without having sex? Did I masturbate, etc.? It was extremely awkward, but everyone else at the table was backing me up, and eventually he just gave up. Darcy's story. Some people ask me really personal questions, but I've always been one for learning and also one for educating when I feel I have something to add, so I just answer them as best as I can. I don't really get offended easily. Katie's story. I can happily say that I haven't had any negative situation of the sort. Marnie's story. Before I knew about asexuality, just talking about sex with my husband was so difficult. 1, I didn't like talking about it because it made me feel uncomfortable. 2, we constantly had the same argument over and over again about sex. 3, I can explain what I didn't understand myself. 4, my husband felt I was looking outside our marriage for sexual companionship since I didn't want to have sex with him. And he was extremely jealous of every other man in my life because of it. 5, it created a bad situation for us because we pushed family and friends away so they wouldn't feel the tension in our relationship. So what are the intrusive questions that you've been asked? I'd love to hear your comments below. Please write them down there. Don't forget to check out Asexual Perspectives book on Amazon. It is an absolutely fabulous read. I can guarantee it will answer the majority of your asexual questions, and it will leave you with a sense of really understanding what all across the spectrum means. It's such an insightful book, and tons of asexuals, 46 around the globe, have literally put their heart and soul into sharing their emotional journey with you. It's an incredible read. Don't forget to check it out. Buy it as soon as you can, because it is really going to give you an absolute insight that you valuably need in your life to gain a greater understanding of asexuality and how we work across the spectrum. This is great for forming friendships with other asexuals, for relationships with other asexuals, dating. You know, it's amazing. Just check it out. And give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe. Don't forget that. Share it with a friend. If you're subscribing, hit the bell button next door to it. If you're a subscriber already, pop your bing on the bell. You know, push it in, push the bell in, click on the bell, and you will receive a new notification every time I post a new video. Until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's. Bye-bye.